Hi there, and welcome to the show. We're so glad you're here. My name is Tom, and my wife's name is Julianna. And we'll be your host this weekend as we go on vacation to Kansas City. This is an amazing city. Did you know that Kansas City has more barbecue restaurants per person than anywhere else on earth? It's true. And here's another fun fact. The McDonald's Happy Meal and the Mickey Mouse cartoon were both invented in Kansas City. KC has more outdoor fountains than Rome, and more driving boulevards than Paris, if you can believe that. Not to mention the first outdoor shopping center in America was invented here in Kansas City. It's called the Country Club Plaza. It's really quite nice. Now, I wish I could tell you it's all fountains and boulevards here, but the truth is, there is a hotel downtown with a ghost that's been terrorizing the city. It's a crazy situation. Anyways, we've got our detective gear all ready to go, and we're going to be staking out this hotel tonight. And investigating some other mysteries along the way, too. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. By the way, our friends Joel and Cassie will be joining us, too, so you don't want to miss this. Please get ready to come along. It begins now. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Kansas City, a metropolitan area in the center of the country with a 2.3 million population. Did you know that Kansas City is actually two cities? You see, it sits on the Missouri River, which divides the states of Missouri and Kansas on the northeastern edge. Kansas City is called the City of Fountains because it has dozens of large, decorative stone fountains all over town. It's also called Paris of the Plains because it has more boulevards than any city in the world. KC is also known as the crossroads of the nation because it's pretty much the largest city in the middle of America, going east to west or north to south. And in the 1800s, it was the last major city for pioneers and covered wagons on their way to enter the western frontier. Kansas City is a major stockyard and shipping point for the cattle industry, and it's famous for its fine steaks. So juicy and good. It's also very famous for its distinctive barbecue recipes made with molasses and brown sugar. Yum. Unlike Texas dry rub or the Carolina and Memphis barbecue recipes made with mustard and vinegar. I'm not a big fan of that. You may be familiar with Kansas City's sports franchises, the Royals baseball team, the Chiefs football team, and also the Kansas City Kings basketball team, which later moved to California. All of these team logos have a regal monarchy theme. But, funny story, the Royals are named for the American Royal Cattle Show at the Kansas City Stockyards. So it's kind of an inside joke. But the royal tradition of the area sports teams actually began with the Kansas City Monarchs, the most successful and longest-running team of the African-American minor league era. This legendary team featured future Hall of Famers Satchel Paige and Jackie Robinson. And you can see their memorabilia at the African-American Baseball Museum at 18th and Vine Street. Also at 18th and Vine is the American Jazz Museum, a wonderful building of musical exhibits detailing the history of early American jazz. You see, starting in the 1900s, many African Americans immigrated up the Missouri River to Kansas City and settled in a district called 18th and Vine. And it was in this rough and tumble neighborhood in the 1920s and 30s that the noir sounds of nightclub jazz took hold. The Kansas City sound, as it was called, was a sophisticated combination of ragtime, big band, and the blues. And during the Great Depression, Kansas City had over 250 jazz clubs, including various underground speakeasies during the era of alcohol prohibition. You probably have heard of famous Kansas City jazz musicians Count Basie, Charlie Bird Parker, and the Benny Moten Orchestra. You may also remember the 1990s TV sitcom Malcolm and Eddie, about two Kansas City roommates who decide to open a jazz club together, and hilarity ensues. The syndicated show ran for 4 seasons on UPN. KC has been on the big screen as well. For instance, the 1952 crime noir film Kansas City Confidential is the story of an innocent man who gets framed for bank robbery by 4 criminals. Well, once he provides his alibi and is released, he decides to hunt down the actual bank robbers for sweet revenge. It's a great film, you don't want to miss it. Another crime noir classic is the award-winning 1996 film Kansas City. This movie stars Jennifer Jason Leigh as a woman trying to rescue her ne'er-do-well husband who's being held for ransom at the famous Hey Hey nightclub by a dangerous gangster played by Harry Belafonte. The film was lauded by Hollywood critics for its integration of live 1930s jazz standards recreated by modern-day musicians. But probably the most famous movie set in KC is the Kansas City Massacre, an historical drama about an actual mob hit that took place on the front sidewalk of Union Station train stop. On June 17, 1933, a contingent of FBI agents were transporting notorious gangster Frank Jelly Nash from a locomotive when they were ambushed by the infamous bank robber Pretty Boy Floyd. Well, a huge gunfight broke out that left 2 police officers, 2 FBI agents, and Jelly Nash himself in body bags. This massacre shocked the nation and made newspaper headlines because it was the first time in American history that cops and criminals had fought each other in a crowded public place with machine guns. Union Station is an historical landmark now, and all around the exterior of the building you can still see actual bullet holes from the Tommy guns used that day. Some people say that Union Station is haunted by ghosts, and it was even investigated on a season 7 episode of Ghost Adventures. There are other purportedly haunted locations in KC, including the Arabia Steamboat Museum, which showcases the mighty steamship which sank in the Missouri River in 1856. In 1988, it was rediscovered by treasure hunters. It was like finding King Tut's tomb preserved in the dark and muddy riverbank. Well, it's a museum right in downtown now, and it's really quite spooky there. The night watchman says he hears clanks and booms at night. Why, he even got so scared on one occasion he ran away. I'd be ashamed to admit that, but he did admit that. Another place filled with mystery is the Power and Light Building, a 1931 Art Deco masterpiece in the heart of downtown. It's an iconic image of the city. This skyscraper was once used as an office building, but is now full of apartments. And it's also said to be a very strange place. You see people walking down the street say they've seen shadow people jump from the top of the skyscraper and plummet to the sidewalk below, only to vanish at the last second. Poof, just gone. Likewise, people inside the building tell of seeing a shadow figure climb up past their windows, like Spider-Man or King Kong. What next? But all this being said, there is one ghost story in KC so terrifying it has tortured the minds of its residents and held the city in a state of fear night after night. It's called The Haunting of Kansas City. The Savoy Hotel, located at Central and 9th in the heart of Kansas City, is over 100 years old. It's an Art Nouveau style building with hand-laid tiles, beautiful Italian stained glass all around it. During the 1920s and 30s, it was a swinging spot for travelers from the world over, including many famous jazz musicians who made their way to the city. And it's also rumored to have been frequented by the Kansas City mob. And there are stories from those days of many wild parties held there late at night, with champagne, loud music, and dancing. Later in the 20th century, the old building became a bed and breakfast, and then a flop house. Until finally, the world-famous Savoy Hotel and its restaurant were closed down in 2016 after a fire in its downstairs kitchen. But just recently, the Savoy building was purchased by the 21C family of hotels and reopened as the 21C Hotel and Bar at Savoy, a magnificent, fully restored and redecorated 4-star hotel with an ultra-modern motif. The 21C has received quite a bit of buzz around its avant-garde interior design and futuristic artwork. However, there is something else that's also causing quite a bit of stir. It's called the Savoy Ghost, a clandestine figure in the night said to haunt the hallways of this storied hotel. It began one evening when a guest named Larry Freeman returned to his room on the 5th floor to find jazz music playing on the clock radio. But here's the thing. The door to his room was locked all day, and Larry does not like jazz music. A few days later, a radio in the laundry room was found playing jazz music too. However, this radio was set to a top 40 station, and the hotel staff don't like jazz music either. Quite curious, I would say. But there is another, more disturbing experience shared online by a former Savoy Hotel waiter named Reed Shaylor. He tells the story about a very old hotel guest named Mrs. Leitner up on the 6th floor, who one evening requested a cup of sugar, and so the young waiter ran the sugar up to her room. When he tapped on the partially open door, he saw the old lady sitting at her coffee table with a dapper-looking gentleman in a pinstripe suit. The man stood up as the old lady made her way to the door. "Excuse me," said the young waiter. "I didn't know you had company." "Company?" said Mrs. Leitner as she turned around, and the man was gone. The Savoy Hotel haunting continues down to this day, with guests staying there reporting that sometimes they feel as though they're being watched. And there's also been sightings of the man in the suit, disappearing around corners and dashing into elevators. And the most frightening and frequently reported phenomenon of this haunting, the ghostly sound of old-time jazz softly echoing through the entire hotel at night. It could be that the origin of this haunting goes back to the Roaring '20s and wild events that may have taken place at the Savoy Hotel during that glamorous heyday. Also, it should be noted that during the building's recent renovations, a gun wrapped in a handkerchief was found inside a wall. So there could be some story to that as well. And that's exactly what we're trying to figure out this weekend. That's right, we're here in Kansas City. And this evening, we'll be investigating the Savoy Hotel itself, searching every nook and cranny in this old historic building. Now, to the detective work at hand. And we're hoping you'll join us.
Oh, I wish Cassie and Joel would come back.
Yes, we're looking forward to seeing Cassie and Joel.
Union Station.
This is it. We're at Union Station. And, yeah, we're going to do some exploring. We're looking forward to spending time with our friends, Cassie and Joel. And, wow, you see that dinosaur? My goodness, is that an amusement park? We see a slide, some sort of Ferris wheel. My goodness, all sorts of things. I can stand here all day and just... a lot of action around this part here. Well, anyway, I think we can go this way. The beautiful buildings of Kansas City. Wow, look at that skyscraper. And here we are at the famous entrance of Union Station, Kansas City. And right through these doors, I will grab that door for you.
Thank you.
And I'll grab this golden door for you as well. And Welcome to Union Station. Here we are in, oh my goodness, we found Joel and Cassie waiting for us. Welcome to Union Station. And of course, these are our friends, Joel.
Yes, yes.
Group shot. And we're looking forward to touring the station here, but first, brunch at Pierpont. So we don't want to miss out. It's right this way. This is called Harvey's Restaurant here. We'd like to come here sometime.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, it gets more crowded than this.
There was 1,000 people.
It does. It gets so crowded here, but something tells me this day is just getting started. This day is just getting started. Oh wow! Look at that.
They took the ghost piano away.
Oh, I remember that. I didn't like that thing. I did not. I did not like that thing. It is the enormity of this. Oh, it has that old-timey feel, doesn't
I'm
it?
gonna get you next to that.
Oh, it still exists. I just don't like that piano. It's a haunted piano. I don't like it. There's a great legacy here at Union Station.
Oh my.
Yeah, this goes back to the Roaring 20s around here, so it still has that 1920s feel to it. Some people say there's a lot of history. And right now we're at Pierpont. Now this has a long history here at Union Station as well. It's been here for years. One of the classic places to dine in Kansas City.
You look beautiful. Oh, 5 hours in the mirror will do that. Just the TV thing.
It's amazing. Pierpont's restaurant. This place is legendary.
Detective's Casebook, Entry 1. Our mission today begins with coffee at Pierpont's at Union Station, a 1920s era train stop restaurant. It's still open today.
Yes, I love this. You're right by this beautiful painting.
All of us, pretty much.
Have you seen this on the menu? It has the Kansas City Massacre. It's a signature drink. Here.
It's J. Ryder, Casey Whiskey, Alice Bloody Mary, barbecue sauce, and a splash of IPA.
Oh wow! So
It's good for you.
So many drinks.
So you're thinking about an espresso martini already? Why not?
Coffee with the twist.
Interesting idea. Now I know you're somebody that likes eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict. Yes, I love Eggs Benedict.
Now, I'm not trying to push you into that. I just know that you had mentioned how you enjoy it.
Yes.
But they also have a Cajun Eggs Benedict. That's interesting.
Black and hollandaise sauce. Now I do like crispy edges.
Yeah, crispy edges all the way. They have a ladder. Up there, you say, hey, yep, they say, give me a bottle of whiskey up there. They say, well, we'll find a ladder and get it. By the way, it makes you wonder how many people have come here and said, I'll climb the ladder myself. Yeah. Well, Joel, give us your review on the KC Massacre Breakfast Bloody Mary.
It's pretty good so far.
Hey, cool. By the way, this is a brunch. What's the review?
It's like a Bloody Mary with barbecue sauce in it. I like my Bloody Mary.
I don't like Bloody Mary.
Spicy, you know.
Hey,
Spicy.
even somebody that doesn't like Bloody Marys likes that one. And just an update, this is the platform breakfast. A little bit of everything. And you have the Eggs Benedict. The classic, great selection on that. We have the steak and eggs. And Cassie with the breakfast burger. So I'm as pleased as punch about this.
I will get a little rounded view.
I would say I should let you order though because it's been a dick. I would have second thoughts about it. I need some plates here. Hey, Joel stealing your idea of a buttered steak.
This is so cool. Oh, wow. Come back and set the bar. Thank you. Now, I don't hang out at bars, but that's my kind of bar. And if you'd like, we could kind of do a circuit going around this way. As you can see, this is kind of the old train station facade here. So yeah, imagine being here 80, 90 years ago and being somebody that has just arrived in Kansas City. This is your welcome. This is what you would have seen. Yes, Julianna, you're looking at actual bullet holes from the Kansas City Massacre, which was a Mafia hit that happened right here where you're standing. Oh my goodness, wow. My goodness. I think those police cars are coming here, my goodness. My goodness, there seems to be some sort of episode happening here. What do you think about these bullet holes in the wall?
Scary stuff.
Look at that one.
I say Law and Order.
Yep, you're at the site of the Kansas City Massacre. That's when the gangsters said, put a hit out on them.
Say.
Detective's Casebook, Entry 2. Seeing these bullet marks everywhere is a reminder of the mob's ruthlessness. Could we really put anything past them?
So I would imagine with all the concentrations of bullets here on this spot, one of those guys will mention, you know what, because the thing is, there's bullet holes, but there's none right there where you're standing. So the guy was actually
Yep, he took the full hit,
yep, and absorbing those bullets, you know.
It looks like the marble primarily, but man.
You would think that the upper, higher up on the wall.
Well, in the movie they ran. They were running around, and the bullets were kind of. It was kind of a. It wasn't an isolated incident. It was more of a. The parking attendant told us it was a 25-minute, 25-minute scenario. It seems like something from an old Humphrey Bogart movie. It looks like a place Humphrey Bogart would be meeting someone. Hey Joel, do you want to see if these elevators go up there? Yeah, we have a map of the Grand Station here. You're right, there's level B. We're right here in the Grand Hall. And we'd like to do a quick tour. There's so many things to see, so many places to visit. Hey, what do you think of these old-time elevators? Hey, I think we can jump in here. Whoa, it's ready to close on us. A dangerous elevator. No, I'm kidding. It's not dangerous at all. It's just lots of fun. Hey, hold the elevator. Oh, we found the button, thankfully. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That got a little wild. Elevators usually don't do that.
They don't.
They usually don't try to go crush people like a video game. Well, I would love to, just get a full view of the promenade area. And are we still on level 1? Should we push 2 or B?
Just push them all. No, 2 is fine.
2? Okay, we'll give it a shot here.
Tom, when you were a kid, before you got off an elevator, did you have to push all the buttons?
No, I didn't.
Come on. No, I didn't do that.
Oh, what do we got here? Check this out. Cool. Hey, let's take a look down here. Wow. Tutankhamun. Great books. I would love to sit down with these books. How fun to be able to look out over Harvey's restaurant here. Man, it looks like these people are having fun. Yes. Oh, next time we have to sit up in this area. I would love that. Lots of antiques here. You kind of get a feeling of the old Union Station by looking at some of these memorials. Look at this register. Imagine typing on that. And I hear a bell. I think we can go right through here. I love these elevators. I love these antique elevators.
I bet you don't have the full story on like when they renovated this place. The things that they found. And
that key was interesting because it looked like it went to a locker. Like some sort of gangster had a bag of money and put it in the locker and then hid the key in the wall. What do you think? Maybe we should start looking at storage lockers and see. Maybe boy.
Detective's Casebook, Entry 3. Whilst exploring the second floor gallery, we made an interesting discovery of items in a display case found hidden around Union Station. And what caught our attention was a key. Like a key that would go to a lockbox. This was found during renovations. And it reminds me of another story of something found in the wall during renovations.
And the door opens. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, wow.
Wow!
We got this.
Oh yeah!
Touchscreen.
Hey, you do got a touchscreen there. Hey, quite a view from up here.
Detective's Casebook, Entry 4. We may actually be getting somewhere on this. Historians presume that when Pretty Boy Floyd ambushed Jelly Nash's police transport, he shot his fellow criminal by accident while trying to free him. But what if he mowed down Jelly Nash on purpose to silence him? What if that key found in the wall here at the station held a mutual secret of theirs? We may never know because the following year, Pretty Boy Floyd perished during another gunfight with police. If we're going to find out the secrets of this key, we'll have to do it on our own. Detective's Casebook, Entry 5. Our investigation takes us now to the inner city, 5 minutes east of Union Station, in a neighborhood called 18th and Vine. This is where so many American jazz icons performed their music, including Ida Macbeth, Jay McShann, Curtis Counts, the famous Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, and the Coon Sanders Original Nighthawk Orchestra. We're talking about legends of history here. Not to mention world-famous jazz venues like the Blue Room, the Green Lady Lounge, and of course the world-famous Hey Hey nightclub, all of which are still open today.
Yeah, I think we can go this way.
And we're here.
Cross here. Oh, you're on there. You'll be on there. Good to see you. And I haven't been here before. I think it may be this way.
Oh, absolutely.
And by the way, that in the distance is the historic Gym Theater.
Oh, great.
This is a very famous street.
The Jazz District Apartments.
Cool. Hey, we're officially in the Jazz District now. And right ahead is the Blue Room, which is a famous Kansas City jazz club. And oh, I like that little piano they have down at the bottom. How fun! And across from that, you can see the Gym Theater, a very old movie theater going back to black and white times. And I think we can gently cross the street here. Oh, look at that mural! This is the Blue Room.
Here's a fun fact. When Jackie Robinson played baseball in Kansas City, he lived in a hotel flat right above the Blue Room.
It's a music academy over there.
Yes, there is. That's actually sponsored by the Kansas City Royals, where they develop young baseball players. Right there. And any of the neighborhood youths who would like to improve their skills at baseball, that's where they go. And hopefully they can play for the team someday.
Detective's Casebook, Entry 6. Our investigation has brought us to the Jazz District, where big band swing music was invented in the 1920s and 30s. 18th and Vine is mentioned in the classic song Piney Brown Blues, and also the song Kansas City, Here I Come by Fats Domino. Imagine these guys hanging out right on this street corner. This is where Big Joe Turner wrote Shake, Rattle, and Roll, one of the earliest entries of rock and roll. It's incredible to think the art forms of jazz, blues, and rock music all had part of their early story beginning right here down this sidewalk.
Apparently this is the swing shop here.
Yeah.
And we made it. We're here at the American Jazz Museum. Wow, wow, wow. Cool. And this is an area called the Atrium. And I'll just grab this door for you here. Here we are, we made it to the Jazz Museum. Oh, wow. This place is called the Swing Shop. Neat. And there's a visitor center over here. Hey, cool gift shop. Kansas City Monopoly. Today it's all about jazz. And I'm very curious to see what's down the hallway here. There's an entrance with an exit. I think you start here. Oh, it says starts here. Kind of a dark hallway, who knows? What's down here? Let's take a look. Kind of mysterious down here. Wow. Dreamland. Very, very famous jazz clubs here in the city.
Detective's Casebook, Entry 7. We've come here to learn more about the cool sounds of nightclub jazz, the favorite music of dames, mobsters, and swinging cats. Our mystery takes place in the era of jazz noir, and I believe it's key to cracking this case.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
Love to read this book, by the way. I could spend a weekend just sitting and reading this book. History of America's Music, Jazz. Hey, cool socks, wow. Hey, we have socks with a jazz cat on it. Hey, there's a guitar one. Piano socks. Well, now you've seen just about everything. All sorts of piano socks here. Hey, you need a new bag.
Yeah, I do. I like this one.
Why? I like that one too. Well, I'm deciding between the blue one and the black one here. What do you think?
I like either one.
Let's grab this blue one.
Okay.
Now, do you think you could find a t-shirt in your size?
Look at this American Jazz.
I like the Jazz Museum one. Oh, now there is another. This is more of a tote. This is more of a tote bag over here. Or are you thinking kind of a medium or a large? A large? You want to go large? You bet. Yep. Yeah, you're right. I think large is the way to go. This is a cool t-shirt too. Did you see this one? You like that one better? It's not too late to change it in. This one. There's nothing wrong with that one. This is just this one so much better. Yes, we love this t-shirt. Yeah, cool t-shirt. Now, what are you thinking about some socks over here?
I love this shirt.
You going with the shirt, huh?
Shirt and bag. That's what we're going
All right,
with.
show us the bag.
I love this bag.
All right, you have a cool new bag, a cool new shirt.
Cool jazz puzzle. I know what I'm getting.
Cool license plate. This is Ella Fitzgerald at the Gym Theater across the street from us. That is, oops, didn't mean to bump that. And here's another cool t-shirt. What do you think about this?
Beautiful.
It is. Hey, we like it here.
We do.
Detective's Casebook, Entry 8. Visiting the American Jazz Museum helped us gather important information that may be useful in solving our case. We learned the reason this town had so many nightclubs back in the 1930s is because during these years, Kansas City was controlled by the Mafia. That's why so many jazz people ended up here. During this time of nationwide curfews and alcohol prohibition, those rules didn't have any meaning here. Because the nightclub scene was a lawless land where the mobsters owned the politicians and the police force. During this era, known as the Pendergast years, the Kansas City crime syndicate operated out of a section of downtown called Little Italy. And they say it was commonplace to see men with zoot suits and Tommy guns climbing out of a Rolls-Royce Phantom in front of the Savoy Hotel. They say the famous hotel bar never actually closed down during the roaring jazz age. They just put up curtains and continued pouring drinks and coming and going all hours of the night. Seeing this old building now, 100 years later, it almost seems surreal. The stories of the dark and dapper specter of a man standing at the end of long hallways, slipping around corners and dashing into elevators. Our mission this evening is to search this hotel top to bottom until we find out why this apparition keeps appearing here night after night. Now you may be saying, Tom, I don't believe in ghosts. That's just people's imaginations though. Well, here's something that's not imaginary. Multiple numbers of hotel guests say they have heard the ghostly sounds of 1930s jazz echoing throughout the building when there is no such music playing. That is something that has never been explained. Perhaps the answers lie ahead. Well, everyone, welcome to the Savoy Hotel, which is now known as the 21C Hotel, and we're about to begin our investigation. By the way, this is one of the most famous haunted hotels in the world. It's been on TV, there's been magazines written about it, it's been in books. It's a very, very haunted place. Wow, look at the chandelier here. My goodness, that was neon green. Uh-oh. I think things may be getting crazy here. I've heard that this hotel is really out there. And my goodness, this room looks like somewhere a ghost would go into, doesn't it? And wow, look over here in the corner. Look at that piano. By the way, the story at Union Station that Joel was talking about of the haunted piano, he was not joking. There's an electric piano player there that apparently turns itself on at night. Oh my goodness, look at this! Is that Mortal Kombat? What is this? This is a box full of buttons now. And there's a little house up there. This is like something from Pee-wee's Playhouse. I guess this is artwork. Must be a Pee-wee Herman fan here. By the way, we have actually been warned online that this is a very creepy and strange hotel. And I don't mean that as a slight. It's just the reputation that this building has. I mean, the owners have got to know that. There's the kitchen, by the way, where they had the fire that closed the hotel down a few years ago. I'm very interested in the different iterations that the Savoy Hotel has taken. It began as an Art Deco style hotel back in the Roaring 20s, and then I understand it was renovated into a mid-century modern decades later, and then it turned into a bed and breakfast, if you can believe that, in the early 2000s. And now it is a very unique hotel. It's sort of a boutique in a way, in that it's eclectic. You know, walking around this enormous building with halls and corridors, and strange rooms everywhere you turn, it seems like a good place if someone wanted to hide.
Maybe something down this direction. Whoa. This elevator opened on its own. This elevator just opened by itself. There was no one in there. I guess that happens. There was no one in that elevator.
Oh my goodness.
Some sort of theater.
Oh boy.
It's a strange theater in here. Goodness. People sit in here and watch this. What? It's madcap. I like it though. I gotta tell you, that whole thing with the elevator opening really freaked me out. It seemed like someone was messing around with the elevator. I doubt it was the staff. I really think someone is monkeying around in this place. I'm starting to come up with a theory here. What if this is connected to the strange elevator happenings that went on at the Union Station? If you remember, the old elevators there were acting crazy too. It almost seemed like somebody was shadowing us, pushing buttons. What if the key that was found in the wall during the renovations at Union Station and the gun that was found in the wall here at the Savoy Hotel during renovations, what if these incidents are connected by the same ghost? What if the same ghost is searching Union Station during the daytime to find his lockbox full of money from the 1930s? And he's obsessed with it. He can't stop thinking about it. Well, then he returns to his home here at the Savoy Hotel and haunts the hotel at night. The same description of a ghostly specter in a fancy suit dressed like a 1930s gangster. Both of these stories are all over the city, really. Maybe we are getting somewhere. Detective's Casebook, Entry 9. I must say this is a tough case.
Lots of puzzle pieces that just don't seem to make any sense. And after investigating that madhouse of a hotel, we decided we needed some fresh air, so we went to walk around the block for a minute.
I'd love to get you in front of this sign. The Majestic. Live jazz played here every night.
How groovy.
Yep, a very famous place to listen to jazz music.
So cool.
And right through this door, I think. Yes, please hold up that menu. Here we are at the Majestic. And boy, I can't wait. I'm so happy to be here. I have a great feeling about the menu tonight. Maybe we should ask if they have any specials.
We have the barrel-aged Manhattan.
Cool drink.
Yes, this was recommended by the waitress.
Yes, our host recommended this. You said, hey, what's the best thing you can get here? They said, I'll bring it to you.
I'm excited about this.
Cool. Well, what you think? Oh, I think we have a hit. This is the big deal. Hey, that's a great dance. What do you call that one?
I call it
The Boogie Woogie two-step? I think you invented your own dance over there. Oh, the after-dinner dance. It's a variation of that. The dinner celebration, huh? You could almost say that this is the prize of the day, but you're actually my prize of the day. You are the prize of the day. This is second place. This is second place, but you are number one today.
Thank you.
Wow, look at this Kansas City steak. Great way to end the day in Kansas City. Through the Kansas City steak. Thank you. Oh man, terrific. And you have the duck, or is that the duck confit or the chicken confit?
It's chicken.
Chicken confit, twice baked potato,
We're sharing that with you.
sauteed carrots. Or is it said on the menu, veg of the day?
You know, being an amateur detective, you gotta rely on your instincts. And during dinner, I had a hunch about this little inconspicuous door.
And right down this way, there's something I'd like to show you down here. Do you know how guests at the Savoy Hotel say that they hear ethereal jazz music playing? You see, we're just a few hundred feet below ground across from the Savoy Hotel. What do you think people are hearing at night? We're in a speakeasy. It says live jazz at the Majestic restaurant. That's what guests at the Savoy Hotel are hearing at night. They say they hear echoes of old-timey jazz playing. It's right down here in this speakeasy in the midnight hours. We just need to get a microphone for you. We just need an old-fashioned jazz microphone for you to sing into. Maybe you can cover the standards. What do you think? I'll jump on stand-up bass. I'll play some stand-up bass.
Detective's Casebook, final entry. Earlier today, I had a feeling that learning about jazz history and Kansas City history would pay off. The old-time jazz music heard reverberating in the Savoy Hotel is coming from the underground lair of the old Fitzsimmons Saloon building, which is now the Majestic Restaurant, a speakeasy back in the Great Depression, and its basement is just around the corner from the hotel. Came to Kansas City this weekend with the hope of solving a very famous haunting.
And I think we
may have done just that. Or at least came away with an interesting theory. The ghost of the Savoy Hotel isn't a ghost. It's a gangster,
Store, I think.
a real-life modern-day mobster, laying low and using the hotel as his hideout.
Right.
Think about all the clues. The way he pushes buttons on empty elevators to make sure no one's following
right
him.
this way.
The way he vanished after having tea with Mrs. Leitner. And the way he keeps leaving jazz playing on hotel room radios. It's his favorite music. Well, whoever the dapper-looking man of the night is, we hope he finds that lost train station loot he's looking for. And we found a treasure of our own this weekend. It's something we learned along the way. The story of jazz cannot be told without Kansas City. And the story of Kansas City cannot be told without jazz. Good night, everyone, and thanks for coming along.